Good evening and a warm welcome to tonight's edition of the Diamond Newsdesk at 8, where we bring you the latest from stories featured on DiamondTVZambia.com. You can also follow us on Diamond TV online on Facebook and on X at Diamond TV Zambia. My name is Mutinta Chiseko. Up next, the headlines. Mazabuka Hospital under fire as twin pronounced dead, found breathing in mortuary. Former employee faces manhunt following brutal assault and theft in Lusaka home. And Lusaka City Council raises 34 illegal structures, including mobile booths and car washers, leaving traders stranded. And now the news in detail. A family from Mwanachingwala Chiefdom has accused Mazabuka General Hospital of negligence after newborn twins were reportedly declared dead, only for one to show signs of life while being taken to the mortuary. The twins' delivery began at a rural health center with only one born before complications led to emergency transfer. At Mazabuka General, the second twin was delivered, but nurses reportedly pronounced both stillborn. The family noticed movement in one baby while being taken to the mortuary and retained to the hospital. They are calling for accountability while the surviving twin remains admitted. Southern Provincial Health Director Dr. Kalitas Kayunga is reviewing the case.
A family has been left devastated after burying one of the set of newborn twins this afternoon in Mazabuka district of Southern Province, following a shocking incident at Mazabuka General Hospital. According to the grandmother of the twins, a 18-year-old daughter went into labor last night. She delivered the first twin at Mawanga Clinic in Mwanachingwala Chiefdom, but due to complications, they were referred to Mazabuka General Hospital, and there a second twin was born. Shockingly, the grandmother claims that both babies were pronounced dead by the nurse on duty at the General Hospital. My daughter went into labor last night, and while at Mawanga Clinic, she delivered one of the twins. Due to complications, we were referred to Mazabuka General Hospital, where another twin was delivered. After the birth of both babies, a nurse informed us that both children had died. She instructed us to begin the paperwork in preparation for their burial. Shockingly, the grandmother claims that both babies were pronounced dead by the nurse on duty at the General Hospital. She adds that the nurse instructed her to collect the necessary paperwork in preparation for the burial. However, while en route to the cemetery near the mortuary, one of the babies showed signs of life. However, while on the way to the cemetery, one of the twins showed clear signs of life. We immediately rushed her back to the nurses, and she's currently in a stable condition. Relatives, now angered by the incident, are demanding answers from the hospital authorities, alleging negligence may have cost the life of one of the twins. This is the document that was issued indicating that both children were deceased.
agipepeshi
ejo chintu chai kundikataya maningi chandibali harubiro kukwera akusvika kuno ande shuwa ndamujana mwana ngo ulapona ino uri mumalaiti kwali wari kutegwa vose vana vafa pona ndaikutovere akambo ndayandaula kuti kambo katutaka umunivo kambo chipi chachitiye.
This situation is deeply distressing, and I believe it must be brought to the attention of the relevant authorities. I demand a thorough explanation on how and why both children were wrongly declared dead. Those responsible must be held accountable.
Alimituhive kuti henna buberesigwa bwa abantu babereka chinchi babereka kama abantu balateka kwire kumana kufa kumbwa muntu obola kwire kusaina atoyo muntu wafa ani muntu bumi bujiriku natulapona buti.
Meanwhile, when contacted for a comment, Southern Province Health Director Dr. Kalistas Kayunga stated that he was not yet informed about the incident, but promised to follow up with Mazabuka General Hospital management for a detailed report. The surviving twin is currently admitted to Mazabuka General Hospital for further medical attention. Helga Chibwe, Diamond News, Mazabuka District in Southern Province.
Police in Lusaka are investigating 3 separate incidents of violent crime that have occurred in the last 2 days. In the first case, police have launched a manhunt for Ezekiel Zimba, a former employee accused of leading 3 accomplices in an aggravated robbery at the Olympia residence of Abe Guja, 37. An Indian national. Armed with machetes and screwdrivers, the gang attacked Guja and his wife Poja, 32, stealing 1,200 United States dollars, 2,000 kwacha cash, and property valued at 48,759 kwacha, including 2 iPhones. Guja sustained injuries to his shoulder, neck, and hand, while his wife was left with bruises. In a separate incident on August 17, the body of an unidentified woman believed to be aged between 35 and 40 was discovered at the junction of Nationalist and Tokyo Way roads in Libala South. She had multiple injuries, including deep cuts to the head and legs, with evidence suggesting glass bottles may have been used in the assaults.
The police service is investigating 3 separate incidents of violent crime that has shaken Lusaka over the past 3 days. In the first case, police are searching for Ezekiel Zimba, a former employee accused of leading a brutal robbery at the Olympia home of 37-year-old Abe Guja, an Indian national. Police Assistant Public Relations Officer Chipo Kaitisha has given details into the crime.
The Zambia Police Service has launched investigations into a case of aggravated robbery following a report received on 16th of August 2025 at around 00:15 hours at Garden Police Post. The report was made by Mr. Abhe Guja, a 37-year-old Indian national residing in Olympia, Lusaka. Mr. Guja was attacked and robbed of $1,200 US, 2,000 kwacha cash and property valued at 48,759 by his former employee Ezekiel Zimba in the company of 3 unidentified accomplices armed with machetes and screwdrivers.
In a separate incident on Sunday, a body of an identified woman estimated to be between 35 and 40 years old has been found at the junction of Nationalist and Tokyo Way roads in Libala South.
Police officers found the body of a female believed to be between 35 and 40 years of age. A physical examination revealed multiple injuries, including deep cuts to the head and legs. Preliminary findings suggest that the glass bottles may have been used in the assault. The body has since been transported to the University Teaching Hospital mortuary, where it awaits formal identification and a post-mortem examination to determine the exact cause of death.
Meanwhile, in Kalingalinga compound, authorities are probing a suspected poisoning following the sudden death of 47-year-old Moses Daka.
The deceased was found outside a gate with household belongings scattered nearby. Foam and a watery substance were observed coming from his mouth, suggesting possible poisoning. A bottle labeled Bloom suspected poison was found near the body, while another empty bottle labeled Boom, also suspected poison, was recovered a few meters away.
The bodies of the deceased have been taken to the University Teaching Hospital mortuary, awaiting post-mortem. The Zambia police has further appealed to the public to come forward with any information that may aid the investigations. Rachel Mumba for Diamond News.
Now, 34 illegal structures have been demolished in a night operation by the Lusaka City Council along Mosotunya Road. The exercise sees the removal of 17 mobile booths, 16 makeshift structures, and 1 car wash. Some of the affected traders have told Diamond News that the demolitions have left them stranded with no place to conduct their businesses as they were given short notice. And Lusaka City Council Assistant Public Relations Manager Bulumba Nyambe says multiple warnings and enforcement notices were issued to the owners of the illegal structures. However, the individuals failed to comply.
Along Lusaka's Mosotunya Road, a nighttime operation leaves traders counting their losses. The Lusaka City Council has demolished more than 34 illegal structures. Miranda Hanzala, one of the affected traders, tells Diamond News that she is disappointed that her makeshift store has been demolished, leaving her business in ruins.
You can see we are given this notice by the Lusaka City Council on the 15th, around 15 hours, saying that they will come and demolish. So we didn't get well prepared. On the 16th, 22 hours, they were here. We just heard that they are breaking. So we came here and find that they've demolished everything.
Another trader says the store was their only source of income, and with the demolition, they have nowhere to go to continue their business.
So nice pano namverelepo bwino kuti batonongera garage. So panji pempa kuti manje tisaenda kuti manje wakatipisha sepano whereby nice ndimo nsakira vakudya vabana nice mamenevi. So panji tisaenda kudzapeleka panji vana ku school. Whereby vanafunga kwenda ku school. Mwana mmoja ndimo nipezera vakuti. So panji tidzapezeka panji ngati batononga vatipisha pa street. Government mchito mu government mulibe. It's a street ndimo tishanshira.
Lusaka City Council Acting Public Relations Manager Nyambe Wulumba maintains that the operation was necessary to restore order and ensure that business activities are conducted properly in the area.
We have intensified our monitoring and surveillance efforts to ensure that we curb all forms of illegal construction across the city to ensure that we just promote order and sanity. We further wish to call upon members of the public to promptly report any of the illegal structures they see erected across especially in non-designated areas to ensure that we quickly move in and correct the situation.
As the dust settles on Mosotunya Road, the question remains, how can struggling traders balance survival with the city's demand for order? Edna Mwimbi, Diamond News.
The Association of Citizen-Owned Pharmaceuticals, ACOP, has demanded an apology from U.S. Ambassador Michael Gonzalez for allegedly calling Zambians thieves. Association Director Galen Sichilima criticized the ambassador's earlier announcement to cut $50 million in health sector aid, which cited systematic theft of medicines meant for free distribution. Speaking on Diamond Television's Acosta program, Sichilima also dismissed the claims that the Zambia Medicines and Medical Supplies Agency, ZAMSA, procured medicines at inflated costs, stressing that pricing depends on the brand.
Was thrown in tantrums. We are known as thieves. Just try to check, Google, why did America withdraw 50 million? You'll see what will come out.
Can this damage be undone?
It can't be undone. This man must apologize. He must write to wherever he wrote his letters, to the BBC and tell them, I am ignorant of the subject. I was overtaken by emotions. That's not an excuse. Ignorance is no defense. Being an American ambassador does not give you the right to insult the citizens. Do you people really understand the gravity of what this man did? Forget about his 50 million. We don't need it. He could have taken it. It's his money and his people. They give it when they want and they take it when they want. But we didn't need to be insulted as thieves. We didn't need it. We didn't deserve that, especially out of ignorance. Being an American does not mean you know anything. Let's be careful. Who touch this country, you have 1,666% price increase. Does it mean you stole the money?
No, you went for the fire zone.
Thank you. Let's get another example.
You can watch the full edition of the Costa program right after this news bulletin. Just now, let's take a look at the weather forecast for tonight and have our first break. Just stay with us. Thank you for staying with us. Moving on in the news, farmers in Nyemu village of Zimba district, Southern Province, have appealed to government to construct a dam to support their livestock. They say the absence of a dam is forcing animals to walk long distances in search of water, a situation they fear is threatening the health of their herds as they are compelled to ration the little water available. Some farmers have resorted to pumping water in buckets from hand pumps to feed their animals. Efforts to get a comment from Zimba district authorities proved futile as they were unavailable by broadcast time.
Farmers in Manyamunyemu village of Zimba district, southern Zambia, are facing serious challenges in accessing water for their livestock. Currently, they are forced to pump water in buckets from hand pumps, a situation they have described as unfortunate and unsustainable.
So, 6 to 8 kilometers winka umasena moja nika madamu. So nukwali kuti chintu chikonzeka kuromba kuchiri kwakuti sebo kuno tuchiri mupenzi pati.
The farmers are appealing to the government to construct a dam that would provide a reliable water source for their animals.
Abatu ye kutoka pakachanika kutuma vote abaro tatutongoke mureri mbaba balance a grassroots pali mapenzi bangwa kansela amayimupi babambya kulimbabo kusaidi kumapatisha bona kuno kumanyemu tababikire mano pe.
Meanwhile, Senior Headman Tobias Yanyiti of Manyamunyemu Zone has attributed the delayed response to community concerns to politics, noting that while the area falls under Zimba politically, it is administered under Kazungula district.
So eripenzi yakomena maningi zihubwa tazichesimanzi kuri damu yomwe ndewo Manyamunyemu echi cheta buchete ansi chetabu chete ku bantu twakachura kuti tuye kumbere akambo ka penziria manzi.
Gabriel Jesus Mova, Diamond News, Southern Zambia.
Now, residents of Salamo in Luvushimanda District, Muchinga Province, are urging the government to increase farming inputs ahead of the 2025-2026 rainy season to safeguard their livelihoods. The local people who braved cold early morning temperatures to vote in the Mfuwe parliamentary by-election say current support is insufficient. Residents like Edna Mwansa and Jacqueline Mumbi also called for improved water systems to enable year-round farming. Newly elected MP Mufumelo Malama pronounced significant improvements for the constituency in his maiden speech.
At a polling station in Salamo area, Lavushimanda district, Mchinga province, on August 7th, residents queued in the early morning cold to cast their votes. Among them is Edna Mwansa. Moments after voting, she told Diamond News her concern. Her son sits at home, unable to continue his education. For many in Sanamo, farming is seen as the game changer. Residents say they need increased farming inputs and improved water systems to farm beyond the rainy season, especially as rainfall has become more unpredictable.
abantu babiri twakana magaloni amenshi tatwakwata tureta po kutarisana no kukamaya kama rofuye bambi turesunga kona abana abome bayitusha tureka fina abana barechura kanshi turachule chine kuti baremba timpia sha kusungira kwa abana banshi wana forokote bambi baremba limbireshina uri muri afuma no puka ko mukumo ngo puka fe nenga basapto fe kuntanshi nishapo walala iwe kona tuwerishanya po muturukisha ko mubuteko.
During his maiden speech, newly elected Mfuwe MP Mfumnelo Malama pledged to bring change in Mfuwe.
People of Mfuwe constituents, what I can assure you is that Mfuwe will never be the same. And thank you for electing me as your member of parliament.
For families like the Mwansas, education depends on the harvest. They hope that with better support, farming will turn their story from hardship to hope. Best Jerry, reporting for Diamond News.
Now, residents of Chaisa compound in Lusaka have expressed concern over a prolonged water shortage that has lasted several months. Judy Banda, a local resident, says the dire situation has forced households to draw water from a pipe running through a drainage where laundry is also being done. She adds that communal water points charge 1 kwacha per bucket, a cost many families cannot afford for daily chores like washing clothes. Another resident, Joseph Chakufwaya, has called for urgent intervention, warning that the shortage could lead to outbreaks of waterborne diseases. Meanwhile, Lusaka Water and Sanitation Company Public Relations Manager Ruth Mulenga condemned the use of drainage water and confirmed that investigations have been launched into the management of communal taps.
Pempako cheboma yatu titenganirepo manzi batikireko mapompi ambiri mwatu mumchaisa tilibe manzi sometimes timankara 1 week no manzi uzapeza ati manzi kulibe yatoka doti mwendo tapa manzi ni adoti
So it's a tipempako boma itanganirepo baboma watu tandizireni ife.
It has often been said that water is life, but for the residents of Chaisa compound, this is where they have to draw their water from. A situation that has raised concern among many. Local resident Judy Banda says the desperate situation has forced families to draw water from a pipe running through a drainage, where they also do their laundry.
So chametima bo washira kuno ni shortage ya manzi. So stinga kwani sakutikea tigula bucket haoni kwacha. Ena ndalama mzeche these days zavuta. Songa tuna bucket hadi 5 ni 5 kwacha. So ikepo na washenu zatapa manzi angati. Zaswa kuno timabwata be kuwasha.
Another resident, Joseph Chakufwaya, is urging authorities to intervene urgently, warning that continued shortages could lead to outbreaks of waterborne diseases.
masuwa so yale sana connect na fions so for ngata of encourage ku government better basa wa mya kuna ngane drainage na masuwa batpira kwa menshi so even pa market pa ntapa ba menshi
manzi kuma pompi kwa tusiyabwera chechirengesa abantu tapira aya siyamasila.
Meanwhile, Lusaka Water and Sanitation Company Public Relations Manager Ruth Mlenga has condemned the use of water from the drainage and revealed that investigations have been launched into how communal taps are being managed.
Lusaka Water Supply and Sanitation Company has launched investigations into a report of erratic water supply in Chaisa Township, the area that is serviced by the local Water Trust Committee, which manages a network of communal taps, as well as 980 individual household connections. For residents without individual taps, water is accessed through the communal taps that operate from as early as 6 o'clock. Water is provided at a cost of 1 kwacha per 20 liters, which includes a solid waste management fee. Our preliminary findings suggest that some residents are opting not to pay for the service and instead are using wastewater for laundry. LWSC would like to strongly warn and condemn such practices as they pose serious health risks and should not be entertained. Further, we will be undertaking further investigations to assess the functionality and management of the communal taps.
Their plea is that government should intervene before waterborne diseases begin to break out. Rachel Mumba for Diamond News.
Thank you for staying with us. Now, motorists in Kimakolwe, Kialalakuba Ward, Solwezi District have raised concerns over the poor condition of the Kimakolwe-Solwezi Road, blaming it for numerous traffic accidents. Johnson Kamonde, chairperson of Kimakolwe Motorbikes, says the narrow and deteriorating road has contributed to the frequent accidents among motorists. Crispin Wapitanga added that those working in the transport sector are forced to spend heavily on vehicle repairs due to the road's condition. Residents have also expressed worry about dust rising from the road, which has become a health hazard. In response, the Solwezi Municipal Council has deployed a grader in Kialalakuba Ward to carry out road grading for the next 10 days.
Motorists and residents residing in Kimakolwe of Kialalankuba Ward in Solwezi District are raising concerns on the deplorable state of Kimakolwe Road that leads to Solwezi Central Business District. According to the motorists, the narrow size and bad state of the road is causing main accidents in the area.
Tuwena kuijanya pana mambo kwa mbamukwa ne ma accident kyo na kuvujana mambo kwa mbamukwa wetu wa kepa. Kabi distance jipo ne condition jimu yaba ya kine twasanta ku government pakuti papo mashini kuno kunkambi ya Kimakorwe twimisanchira anweba government tuwe na kurombako kuwamba mwitu wamishireko mikwakwa nishine ma-accident yetu kechisa kumwika nyikangane kina kurengesha ma-accident na mambo yako wamba mikwakwa yetu ya kepa.
Expenses on motorbike spares is just among the challenges these motorists are facing due to the bad state of the road.
Mambo ya kwa mamba mkwakwa wana kutama watama mkwakwa pamashoko ne kuipunga tu mistake mkwipu mkwakwa akepa waye konga na motoka yayo konga koji ke kuipunga konga kwa.
The dust rising from the road has not spared residents from suffering from flu and cough.
Turi kwata sana dust munshe fere sansa kwa menshi kwamba kachero 05 bawo kwa sansa mwa menshi rukungurure chira rware chifuba amesto turemona bwino releta na accidents.
However, to alleviate these challenges from the bad state of the road, Solwezi Municipal Council has commissioned a Caterpillar road grader to work on several roads in Kyalalankuba ward for the next 10 days.
Yes, appreciatively, people have brought concerns of saying the time, but let's do what we can within the time that is left. From this launch that we are going to do here, the grader will remain in Kyalalankuba ward and to start working until all the identified roads in Kyalawankuba ward, with the help of the councillor, the mayor, and the WDCs are done. This is when this grader is going to leave Kyalawankuba, go to another ward. The cost of this grader is 7,300,000 CDF 2025.
The Caterpillar has been purchased at a cost of over 7 million kwacha using the 2025 Constituents Development Fund. Mulenga Bwalia, Diamond News, Solwezi, Northwestern Province.
Now, advocates for democratic governance, ADEG, and Governance, Election, Advocacy and Research Services, GEARS, have urged the Ministry of Finance to allocate sufficient funds from local revenue for the 2026 general elections. ADEG Executive Director Gideon Musonda emphasized reducing reliance on foreign assistance to avoid delays and ensure smooth electoral processes. GEARS Chairperson Lakson Lungu highlighted the importance of proper monitoring by stakeholders to guarantee a free and fair election. Previous budgets allocated 727.9 million kwacha in 2016 and 598.1 million kwacha in 2021 for elections and related activities.
In 2016, Zambia's total national budget stood at 53.14 billion kwacha, with 727.9 million kwacha earmarked to cover costs related to the tripartite elections and the constitution-making process. By 2021, the national budget had more than doubled to 119.62 billion kwacha, with 598.1 million kwacha set aside for the general elections. As Zambia awaits the 2026 budget presentation, stakeholders in the electoral process are urging the government to fund the upcoming elections using locally generated revenue.
We as GEARS initiative, we want to strongly indicate that this time around we need to ensure that we allocate a significant amount of money to go towards next year's general election. So we are very hopeful that as we prepare for the presentation of the budget, there will be significant amount of money that will go towards the conduct of next year's general election.
For the advocates for democratic governance, the call to fund the election using local revenue comes amid dwindling support from Western countries.
So our position is that it's important that we adequately cover for elections activities using our local resources to avoid any hindrances to the conduct of the elections.
With the Ministry of Finance set to present the 2026 national budget soon, stakeholders say careful planning is essential. They hope lessons from past elections will guide funding decisions ensuring the pause runs smoothly without over-reliance on external support. Best Jerry, Diamond News.
Let's take another break. I'll be back shortly with more news. To stay with us. Traders at Kazungula Border Main Market have appealed to the local authority to urgently address the poor state of sanitation facilities. They are calling for the construction of an additional ablution block and for the toilets to be made operational around the clock. Kazungula Town Council Secretary Lubinda Mwala has acknowledged the concerns and directed the engineering department to assess the situation and take appropriate action.
Kazungula Border Main Market, one of the largest trading hubs in Zambia, is grappling with sanitation challenges due to poor toilet facilities. Traders have also raised concerns over the market's inadequate drainage system and are calling on the council to take urgent action.
Yes. Toilet, Madam Chairperson. We want one of them at least to go 24/7. To go 24/7. If you go around at night, you find a lot of people sleeping there. Where are they going at night?
Meanwhile, Kazungula Town Council Secretary Lubinda Mwala has acknowledged the problem and directed the engineering department to address the matter promptly.
I want to direct Director Engineering, I'm sure he's around, and his team, that I want to see that those toilets are functional by next week Friday. So that is the instruction that I'm giving. Those toilets are ready by Friday. At 24 hours toilets, we'll also look into that matter because the operations of the market are guided by the Markets Act. So we need to see how best we can accommodate.
Recently, the Local Government Service Commission warned of possible closure of markets with poor sanitation standards. Gabriel Josas Mova, Diamond News, Southern Zambia.
Mansa Catholic Diocese today celebrated Cathedral Day and Harvest Sunday with a strong call for renewed faith and unity in families. The event held at Mansa Cathedral attracted hundreds of congregants who gathered for Thanksgiving prayers and offerings. Mansa Diocese Bishop Patrick Chisanga urged guardians to ensure families are built on Christian principles, saying this is key to sustaining unity and peace. He also challenged political leaders to uphold honesty and integrity as they serve the people who entrusted them with leadership rather than pursuing selfish gains.
The Catholic Cathedral Church in Mansa today marked 70 years of existence with the celebration of the Feast of the Assumption of Mary, its patron, the Mother of Jesus. The faithful gathered in prayer and worship, echoing Mary's words from the Bible, "My soul glorifies the Lord, and my spirit rejoices in God my Savior." And devotion was reflected in the songs, prayers, and the spirit of worship that filled the cathedral.
Mwebate mwishiwa kwa Kristo na tupele okuchiishi kuwalinga kuli uyumayo tuole somwine kuluselo wakwe achindamika muli uyuwine musango wa papa.
During the Mass, Mansa Diocese Bishop commissioned the first 13 members of the Catholic Men's League, a lay group whose mission is to serve as pillars of faith, unity, and strong family values in their communities.
Yes, we are not perfect, but in our little way, we would want people to have that value, bringing the life of the family to that of the Christianity way. So with this, we expect Mansa to have a lot of families to have good homes where we would not experience a lot of problems in homes as a result of people being close to the Word of God.
The day also coincided with Harvest Sunday, where congregants, both young and old, shared in thanksgiving for God's blessings. Meanwhile, Bishop Chisanga expressed concern over the continued delay in putting to rest the mortal remains of Zambia's 60th Republican President Edgar Chagwa Lungu, describing the situation as worrying.
It should have not led to where we are. We cannot solve such issues in the courts of law, and for that matter, in a foreign nation. No. This is extremely sad and extremely unfortunate. We call upon our leaders, national leaders, the president and everyone to dig deep into the resources of wisdom and humanity and do what is right. It takes humility, it takes a leadership to solve such problems. We reach out with compassion on the bereaved family. Let no one get to these families for selfish reasons. Let us be with them to console them so that right decisions would be made.
Further urge the political leaders to embrace honesty, humility and unity, stressing the importance of leading the nation under the guidance of God's word. The celebrations concluded on a joyful note as the congregation shared a meal together, strengthening fellowship and community bonds. Kalombe Kapambwe, Diamond News.
And that note brings us to the end of tonight's edition of the Diamond Newsdesk at 8. Before we go away, here's a recap of the headlines. Mazabuka Hospital under fire as twin pronounced dead found breathing in mortuary. Former employee faces manhunt following brutal assault and theft in Lusaka home. And Lusaka City Council raises 34 illegal structures, including mobile booths and car washes, leaving traders stranded. Well, that's it for now from the Diamond News Desk. This has been Mutinta Chiseko. Thank you so much for joining us. Good night.